it's very different from the last exhibition.
Yes, well that's what I wanted. I like to vary them so that people on their toes, they're not always the same, you know.
You're just constantly learning as you go along and working on things and developing them, learning from mistakes.
Learning from, and then other people, like just, it's great because, you know, you can just, you know, other people here, you can just ask them what they think.
Yeah.
Non-stop. Yeah. My partner, Michael, did a PhD on the Cistercians in the north. So that's a group of monks who had several abbeys in Yorkshire, which is where he's from. And part of his job, he had to go there a lot. I would go with him, and I just constantly was seeing these incredible sights. And the Cistercians particularly wanted to get away from everyone else, and so they found these very remote spots. And they still are quite sort of remote. I'll see something when I'm there, a certain angle in combination with an atmosphere. So we did Kirkstall, which is Leeds, I've done Fountains, I've done Byland, and one called Sawley. So these monasteries are crumbling, they gradually will go, and then that in combination with the sky or the atmosphere of what's happening, for me is quite, I don't know, it feels very sort of quite moving in a way, I suppose. I like the emotion that I feel when I see it, and I like the emotion when I try and make them to come through, if you see what I mean. And I thought it was really nice to show them with the mandas, because there is a kind of slightly rural, you know, they're not in the city, they're outside in these very remote places sometimes in beautiful settings. And I thought that'd go really well with Amanda's work. And also I'd never shown the four abbeys before together, so I thought it would be really nice for me personally to see them up.
With these you tend to just do black and white, not colour. Colour, I really miss colour with these, but this is quite good for precision and getting detail. In the show I've done choreographs, I've got wood blocks, I've got lino cuts, and I've got wood engravings. So 4 different processes. And on the night on the 13th of June, we're going to be doing a bit of basic demonstration. So I shall be demonstrating the wood engravings, which you can do by hand. You don't need to press for them if you use a thin enough paper, Japanese paper. Well, I'm an occupational therapist, so I used to work in mental health, so I would work a little bit with art therapists, but now I work with older people and a lot of older people who've had fallen over, and I run groups for them to help build up their strength, balance, flexibility, endurance. Mainly it's around balance and confidence, actually. And that's held at St Pancras in South Wing. So I go there on a Tuesday afternoon to give a talk based on trying to help people with those particular problems. I get all my inspiration from outside of work, really.
I wasn't brought up in London, I was brought up by the sea and in the countryside, so I'm always inspired by forests, seascapes. I've always done landscapes, that's always been my thing, really, I suppose. And I've been in a show at St Pancras before, and that was called the Earth Show. That was all about the Earth, so it had a similar theme. So that's just the first layer. It's going to have some grasses, which I'm going to do in lavender over the top of the yellow, and then pull it all together with a Prussian blue, which will work on the trees and a little bit down here as well. So that's how it will look in the end.
And it was generated from a show we had called Love Letter to London, and I did a view from a bridge. And quite quickly I realised, A, that I was interested in doing that, and B, that it was actually quite lots of people were interested as well in a commercial way. And I built up quite a few views from the bridges, and my kind of dream is to have every bridge view, both sides. I really done about 5.
And how many bridges are there?
It's probably about, how many bridges are there? About 10?
I don't paint landscapes to paint landscapes. The landscape is an analogy, a metaphor for mental space, be it one that's in turmoil or chaos, or one that's serene and calm. But it's very much a way of explaining mental state. So in many respects, the work can be very much viewed as self-portrait more than anything else. The image source material is actually video and photographs from the US military of 1950s and 1960s atomic bomb tests. I got very interested in them about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and started thinking about the atomic bomb as being a metaphor for a line drawn in the sand that you can't, that once you've stepped over it, you can't step back. A lot of my art refers to or draws upon what I'm experiencing at that time. So I was going through a lot of personal turmoil. And the idea that the atomic bomb was so destructive and yet so creative. One thing that has evolved during the past 3 years of the degree is an understanding that my work really comes out of writing. So I write, it spurs ideas and provokes thoughts about the kind of the concepts of a work and moods and feelings about what a work might be, questions I want to explore, try and make sense of through a work. And then I produce the work, which then generates more writing, which leads into more work. So, but I mean, I was doing that all subconsciously before the degree, and now it's happening a lot more consciously.
And then this is the final textural sort of bit on top of this. Yeah, so the purple going over the brown, and then that's exactly what I want. And so people can come to it and interpret it as they want, but I want them to have that sort of feeling. Yes. Yeah. And there's never any people.
The thing that I really spend more time doing than anything else is colograph. And what's lovely about that is you get such lovely textural effects. It can look like an etching, but you don't use any acid. So the areas that you can see that are orange are actually pieces of orange Japanese paper. So what you do is you ink up, and I've done a sort of slight graduated roll here, and these two are etched with, they're marbled actually, marbled etchings, and then this is the solar plate etching.
I'm a